It finally happened. Today is my last day working full time. Reality sinking in. About 4 weeks ago, I put my resignation letter, realizing that I've been working for nearly a decade in one company. About 6+ months ago, actually about a year ago, I'm thinking this is probably the biggest gamble of my life. We've been conditioned to a certain way that you will require a job to survive. You will go look for a job in a very stable company that will pay you your retirement, working 40 hours a week for 40 years, and everything is going to be okay at the end of the tunnel. And realizing that is not the case. Certain event happen at work, certain things happen throughout my life, realizing that might not be it. That is not the answer. It might be the answer a long time ago, but at this stage, that is not happening. Let's go back a little bit. Back in early this year, I wanted to quit my job, but I had a fear of, I don't know what I'm going to do after I left my job. Something's going to happen. If you decided to leave your job, you're bound to go find another job, let's say, something else that might be a little bit different, a little bit more challenging, finding a better environment for whatever it is, your skill set, right? But I'm realizing that for every one job that I go through, there's this learning curve. You get used to it, you know what you're doing, you get competent at what it is that you're doing, you probably end up leaving again because for boredom, stress, and everything in between, at a certain level, you're not going to enjoy it. And I was realizing that having one source of income, which is your job, it is the most vulnerable income asset class, let's say. For that reason, I decided, hang on a second, let's dive into property. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. So, early this year, I wanted to quit, but at the same time, I don't want to find another job. So I decided, I'm thinking of buying a business or opening up a business or plugging it into a system where I can actually earn same amount or if not more money. Even if it's less money, it's okay. It's better than what it is that I'm having, let's say. That was my thought process. I was searching and trying to figure out what system out there or what businesses or what, solopreneur type of environment. Then I decided I'm just going to buy a franchise. So I took out a big lump sum through my portfolio and with an expectation that it should go back up and it's going to be okay. So I think I took out about $50,000 or so to buy a franchise business. Now, I understand also that I might not be doing this franchise business for a long time. I might buy it, learn from it, I guess try to understand how it all work. Once having the system down pat, maybe unsell it or maybe even just close shop because I don't enjoy it. I don't know. However, I took out my capital, roughly about 50,000 is of early this year, with an expectation that it should go back up roughly by December. In April, reality sink in, the market just crash in a sense. Not crash, but just, market does what market do. It goes up, go down, goes up, go down. So for a certain number of months, it's just going down, 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 down. And as of right now, it's going back up. As of today, my portfolio it was at the highest number. I withdrew and it went down. And as of right now, it went back up to the same level of my highest account. In fact, right now it's actually going up further. So on the day that I'm leaving my long-term employment, pursuing the unknown, withdrawing about $50,000 on my account, my portfolio has exceeded what I needed. At worst case scenario, right now, my target was only about $1,000 per week. I took out that big lump sum in February, March, somewhere around there. In less than 6 months, in less than 12 months, I was able to eat that $1,000 per week, $50,000 a year, and the account just grew bigger and bigger. On the last day, I've proven the fact that investing is probably one of the best. Investing on the market, from my personal experience, is probably one of the best vehicle out there because it's a less headache, less hassle. You can do it on a touch of a button, whether on a desktop or a computer. And the fact that it has gone up dramatically, I'm just amazed. Not just this week as well, is a dividends week, so it will be interesting what was going to happen. Actually, not this week, more like next week. So anyway, yeah, it's a big, I guess, the next step of my life, whereas it will be scary because never thought that I'm going to leave a workforce to pursue this silliness of entrepreneurship and small business and not having a full-time predefined identity of a job. So yeah, what I'm realizing as well is that if you are employed is probably the most vulnerable income asset class, especially when you rely on that income. Having multiple streaming income is actually ideal. If you can create that at a very young age, it would be better off. For example, in my portfolio alone, I hold thousands and thousands of companies. Best one, probably one of the best one around the world, if not in Australia at the very least. So, and realizing holding those companies is actually much better off than just receiving an income from one single source, which is your job. When I started my, I guess, mobile laundry service business, realizing also that you have multiple different bosses, which is you don't just rely on one customer, you rely, let's say, about 10. If one customer doesn't like you, they probably kick you off, but you've still got 9 people that you can service. So that's already 9 different customers. So, and realizing that alone is like, wow. So if I had my very first, let's say, I don't want to service this customer again. And the beauty thing about your own business is, or a small business, or entrepreneurship or franchising, which is what I'm doing. If I don't like the customer, I don't have to service them. Like, I'll do this service for you, and later on I don't have to. Whereas if you hate your job, you still have to go back to that office, to that cubicle, to that environment again and again and again. So that was an eye-opener. So far, the side hustle, my laundry service business, is going quite great. The fact that I have the options, I'm like, I don't have to do you. Like, that is a bit mind shift. So anyway, as a whole, it's going to be a good life. I will document as much as I can based on the ins and outs of my own business, based on what I do on a regular basis. And we'll go from there. Yeah. My account grown bigger. I'll withdraw $50,000. With that capital of $50,000 equivalent to $1,000 per week income, I reinvest that for a small business, solopreneur, my own company with my own way of thinking, with my own design, with my own, I guess, processes, systems. It's a lot more flexible instead of requesting for someone high up who might not know what they're doing. So, yeah, it's a new canvas that I can be freely create anything and everything that I wanted to. Yeah. Welcome to a new era. October 2025. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video.